I could do anything. I could kill them.
Somehow this is happening. Welcome to the show. Best-selling author of the Game Changers series, Rachel Reid, is on What Chaos for some reason, and I don't know what the reason is, but I love it, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. No, it's an honor. It's an honor to be here. You guys have been so great, like just amazing. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I hope you can hear through our mics how fast our hearts are beating. You have become so important to not just us, but to so many people the last 2 months. And we're the newbies. Like, we were excited for the show, but we hadn't read the books. We didn't have all this excitement that people who knew how sick it was going to be, they already had that excitement. Now I feel like you're getting new people like us. You're getting people who already loved your books. Now they love them even more. It's such a lame question to start with, like, what's the last X amount of time been like for you? But fuck, there's no like game plan for this, right?
No, 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 I think I'm still in shock. I don't know, maybe I'll stop being in shock eventually, but I think everyone involved with the show is just reeling because you never dream of this. This is, beyond anything you could possibly hope to happen. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been kind of progressively weirder every week, more intense, but also more amazing. And, I kind of went from being a small author with, some fans to being, I don't know, just next level, leveling up for sure.
You said before the show came out, quote, "I don't even know if fans are ready for how good this is." So you know how good the show was going to be, but you can never know what the reception's going to be. So I just found it funny as we were preparing for this, watching all your interviews, seeing that you were like, "Hey, everybody, you don't know what's about to happen." And I'm watching that, and I'm like, I feel like she even doesn't know what's going to happen. So, like, has it been, even knowing that this is not just going to be a smut show, not there's anything wrong with a smut show, but this is going to be a moment. Has that surprised you, the level of it?
Yeah, I knew my fans would be very happy with the show. Like, I knew it was a real gift to the fans, to anybody who liked these characters, who even like this genre of storytelling. But the way that the world has embraced it, I never expected. I really thought it would have a pretty niche audience. And I was really proud of the show, and I was really thrilled with how it turned out, and I knew how good it was, but that doesn't always mean you're going to find your audience. And yeah, just, I don't know, I think maybe it came along at the right time.
Where have you been, like, with your own fandom of the show? Like, have you had to check yourself in sort of like, this would be an incredible moment to flex and be like, this incredible show, these incredible characters, they are mine. But, like, have you had to kind of check yourself with your own fandom?
Yeah, I feel like I almost have this disconnect now because I see so much of, like, just so many memes, so many clips of the show, so many people quoting it for so many different reasons, talking about the characters, that I often forget that they did come out of my imagination. Like, that this is a story and characters that I made up, and it's become such a big thing that I kind of forget that. Like, it doesn't seem possible to me, just because why would something that was in my imagination be talked about this much? But yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. As far as staying grounded goes, I think, yeah, because I don't believe it, I am able to stay grounded that way. But I don't know, maybe that'll fade and I'll become a monster.
I would be here for that development as well. Like, what's the process?
Far be it from a famous author of a series to eventually commit a heel turn.
I can see why you might go insane or like become a monster or become a recluse or yeah.
What's been the process of, like, releasing that from your imagination, and kind of, because, like, when you put it to page, you're still in basically full control of the characters and the story, but when you open it up for, like, a screen adaptation, you're kind of releasing that and maybe not having final say of what the story becomes or who the characters become or the scenes and things like that. Is that something that you kind of grappled with throughout this process?
Fortunately, I didn't have to because I had Jacob Tierney making the show. Like, I just never worried about it. He fully understood the characters and the story right away, and I wasn't worried. I know other authors who did not have a great experience having their work adapted, and I think that would be devastating because those characters do mean so much to you. So, to see them portrayed not how you'd like them to be portrayed would be awful. But that is not the experience that I had. I fully trusted Jacob from the start, and I think I was right to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all kind of learned along the way this would not be what this has been if it weren't you and if it weren't Jacob and Francois Arnaud. I just fucking nailed the name. Said that Jacob Tierney had been told by certain studios in the States that like we would have notes. Maybe don't make them kiss until episode 5, which I threw away all my TVs after that, even though that's not even what ended up happening in the show. That made me so mad. But like, it had to be you. It had to be Jacob Tierney. I know that when he reached out to you, you were like, because this is Jacob Tierney, the answer is yes. Were there any other talks about people wanting to adapt it? And how much, if there were, is there that kind of hesitance to like just give it away to someone you might not trust?
Well, fortunately, Jacob reached out first because shortly after, I did get more people asking about it, and I was really glad that he'd gotten to me first because honestly, it probably would have been sold to whoever was looking for it, and maybe it never would have gotten made, or maybe it would have been a show where they don't kiss until episode 5, which I don't even know what that would be. It's a very different show.
They would still do blowjobs and stuff. It was just the studios were just really mad about kissing. The line
when
is
it's real.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's some Shane Hollander to that.
Yeah, there's
of
an
like
argument there.
Once we're kissing, now it's a kind of real thing for him. This is going to be a dumb question, but we love dumb questions. They often yield good answers. Why hockey? Is it as simple as you're a hockey person, you're a writer, you were writing a book, there's probably going to be some hockey in it? Because we know that like the genre is resplendent with hockey stories. So why was it hockey for you? And why do you think hockey works so well within this genre?
Yeah, when I started, there weren't that many hockey romance books. It has exploded since I started, so definitely I was at the right place at the right time. But I just hate research, and I know a lot about hockey, and I just thought, may as well use that for something. I always wanted to be a hockey journalist. I never did, and now I get to be a hockey writer in a very different way. And yeah, to me, I really just had the idea for a story of the first, NHL player to come out as gay. That was, where I started. That became Game Changer, which is Scott and Kip's story. And then from there came the rest of the book ideas, and it became a series. But it really just started there, just having the one story idea, just something I'd thought about for a very long time and wanted to take a crack at.
Did you think that it would yield this kind of, because like the moment that's happening right now with hockey is, so I get people reaching out to me, they're like, hey, should I watch this show? Everyone's talking about it. And I'm like, I don't care what you like. Because when at first it's like, well, it's a hockey show and it's a gay show. It's a Canadian show. Kind of checks a lot of interests for us, but someone doesn't care about hockey. Like maybe they'll be like, oh, I don't want to watch a sports show or something like that. And now I think that as Pete has put it, it's broken containment to the point where like, if you like good stuff, watch the fucking good thing, you idiot. This is incredible. But it's yielded this moment where we've had so many fans come from you to our show because they're like, well, I like hockey now. This thing made me like hockey. And the way we see it, if people are coming to hockey without some of the passed down, even if not malicious, the passed down, we'll say, heritage of hockey that is a mixed bag in terms of good and evil, then this is improvement. If people are coming to hockey with a blank slate and they're like, I just want everyone to be cool with each other, these are the fans we want. Okay, get over here.
Yeah.
That's got to be the biggest. I mean, kudos on everything you've done, but that might be your legacy.
I mean, that would be amazing. Like, if I could do anything to even slightly improve some of the worst parts of hockey culture, I would be thrilled. I definitely, it's not something I expected or even expect now, but I mean, it's been amazing. It's been amazing seeing that kind of, I don't know, just the way that people are interested in sport, but then going to the games, but going to the games in a way that's very like shamelessly supporting the ideas of this show with signs and homemade merch and all that stuff.
You mentioned the popularity of like hockey stories. Do you think that like part of the reason why there is appeal there, maybe more than other sports, is because like the typical perception of hockey players is like hyper masculine or hyper macho and like these big tough guys, but then like also may have a softer side to them that may not be seen from outside the game?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely, the brotherhood of hockey players is very appealing to me, of male hockey players. I think it's a very emotional game, and I think that even though there's a lot of, pressure to conform and be a certain way, there's still a lot of emotional vulnerability in hockey. There's a lot of just like like hockey players can't stop touching each other either, like in a really affectionate, like male friendship way, which I think is really sweet. And I think all of those things kind of make it a good playground to write a romance in.
Okay, we know the inspiration for some of the people in this series. Like, we know that obviously, like the Sid and Ovi star players, top of their draft or whatever. Like, we got that. I'm fascinated with the rest of the cast. Like, who inspired Hayden, or who? Like, I've met 600 Scott Hunters in my life, and like what makes Scott Hunter isn't necessarily that he's a closeted person at the time that we see him at the beginning of the series. Like, I'm saying I've met that type of athlete, carries himself the way that he does, is probably never going to break a rule, looks out for everybody, like the
consummate professional.
Yes, the consummate professional, as it were. Like, I've met 600 of those guys. So I wonder, like, is that just what would it be, an amalgam of, or a composite of your, I don't know, like, go down the list, Patrice Bergeron, like the kind of polished guy, or I don't know, like did any specific athletes inspire the way certain guys carry themselves?
Yeah, definitely. I would say they're all amalgams because they're all like types. Because it's not like Ilya is Ovechkin. I mean, obviously that rivalry was a huge, that like the Crosby Ovechkin rivalry. I mean, is a huge inspiration like, for this book. Like, that rivalry was unmatched. It's so great at its height. And but like Ilya would be like the cocky European, like flashy guy, which we've seen so many of. Like, I think going back, like Teemu Selanne, Jaromir Jagr, like I don't know, like even like Ilya Kovalchuk, and like I don't know, just like fun European players who are like a little flashy, like their sport cars, that kind of thing, like spend their money. And then Shane's very much more of a like a Sidney Crosby type, like a good boy captain type, like a Paul Kariya, like a I mean, I'd even say like a John Tavares or something, like somebody who's not the most exciting guy in the world, maybe, but like, it's a good boy. And Hayden,
Philip Rivers.
Pardon?
Philip Rivers, the football player with 6 million kids.
Right. I was trying to think, Hayden was just kind of like, I find it fascinating that all NHL players get married at like 21 and have kids by the time they're like 25. They have like, 2 or 3 kids. I don't know why they all do that. I'm like, you're all young millionaires. What are you doing? Like, enjoy that. But they all lock it down early and have those kids. And so Hayden is kind of representing like that, which I've always found an interesting part of the NHL in particular.
Fans of your book seem to be very, very pleased with how faithful the screen adaptation is. Was there anything that was changed that like really shocked you or surprised you? And why was it Shane giving Awooga eyes through the neutral zone?
Yeah. I will say that I think that part's a little more realistic in the book. But it looked good on television. It was very romantic having him look back over the shoulder like that. But yeah, I do think he needed to focus on moving that puck into the neutral zone for sure. That was really. Also, yeah, I think that the hit happens like in the first few seconds of the game, right? In the book, it's later on. So, yeah, it's like I mean, I'll actually forgive him because I think in the first few seconds of the game, I'll allow it. He hasn't settled in yet. If it had happened later in the game and he was doing that, I would have been like, absolutely not. Come on, Shane. But he hadn't seen Ilya in a while.
Yeah. And I obviously there was a big reaction from the hockey community. And like Jacob and you obviously know, like I roll my eyes at anything of like, is this going to be hockey enough or whatever? Because it's like, depending on like, just view it as a love story that takes place in hockey, or view it as a smut show or whatever. Like it takes place in like, this is not a documentary on proving that a hockey fan of however long you've been a hockey fan knows about hockey. Like she's an author of books that involve a lot of hockey. I'm assuming she and Jacob Tierney, who makes hockey stuff, knows what they're talking about. In the case of that hit, I've kind of come around where I have to understand that it's more accessible to people who might be new to hockey to have it a little more blatant and demonstrative that this hockey player is fucking up at his job colossally.
Yeah, it's not captain behavior. I don't know.
I mean, I said trade him, but I said
I know. Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I mean, I mean, I think a lot of GMs would.
There you go.
I find it funny that most of the hockey on the show is either the All-Star Game, the Olympics. Like it's all just weird, or it's like the NHL awards, which like all of these things, or the MLH awards, I should say. It's like all stuff that is like the weirdest part of hockey, and that's like most of the hockey stuff that gets highlighted on the show is that. But I mean, that's my fault. That's what I did in the book too. It's just rare that they're together. That's all.
Having not read all of the books, there are a couple of questions that have been floating around that we figured we could bounce off you. Number one, does Ilya go down the Boston cop slide? And if you don't know what that is, we can explain it to you.
No, I know.
Does Ilya ever go down that slide?
I think he would if he was near. I think he would think he could do it and not wipe out, and he would still wipe out. Or maybe he'd be the first person to just go down fine.
But he's a bit of a fraidy cat. He doesn't like those loon sounds. So I wonder if...
I feel like he would get stuck in the slide.
He would make somebody else do it.
So
he would talk somebody else into doing it, is what he would do. He would make somebody else look like an idiot.
I think that he would get stuck in the slide because his ass is so big.
It's true.
And they would have to remove him via like the jaws of life.
Jaws of life to save him. And then also, does Ottawa never trades for a first line center, right? Because when they came up with that plan of, hey, Ottawa's going to have a lot of money, they need a first line center. Maybe you sign with them, then we're going to be closer. And I'm like, Ottawa GM, MLH Steve Staios, stay off your phone for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
Because I need this for my guys.
Yeah.
Do you work? That doesn't happen?
I wonder. I like to think that in my world, the GM of Ottawa is, like a more chill, maybe better putting a team together, maybe.
And I mean, I figure if you don't trade for, like, if you know that Rozanov is going to become available, although tampering would have to happen there, the agent would have to go to the GM and be like, hey, like, I know that everyone assumes Rozanov's staying in Boston, but he might be making some phone calls on July 1. So stay tight. Don't trade assets. Keep your cap space. And then, bam, you got yourself a star.
Yeah, like, what I think is that Ottawa GM must have been, couldn't believe what was happening. Like, it's like, oh, Ilya Rozanov really, like, you're his first choice, the worst team in the league in Ottawa, and without being able to know why. Like, that must have been baffling.
Part of doing this whole thing is like you do have to create a league and keep up with it. Are you ever writing something and you're like, okay, this thing could happen? No, San Francisco sucks this season. It can't be that. Like, how much do you have to keep up with the monster you've created as you're telling more of the story?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, the continuity is pretty messy. I keep forgetting my fake team names. I keep forgetting who's won cups and when. I keep forgetting who they won the cup against in the finals. Who who's in what? Yeah, who's good and who's bad. So I have to kind of like when I write one of these books, I use a calendar to map out an entire fictional season for my fictional team, and I have to like keep track of how many games they've played against each team. Like, oh, okay, they've already played that West Coast team twice, so that's it. We're done there. Yeah, things like that. I mean, people pointed out. I think there's a continuity thing in Heated Rivalry, like in the book, where it's very clear that Montreal must have played against Boston in the playoffs in an early round of the playoffs, and I never mention it. And people have asked me, like, it seems like just based on everything you said that they must have played against each other in these playoffs, and it's just not on the page at all. And I was like, yeah, that does seem like something that should have been in the story. It does seem important that they did face off against each other, but yeah, I just kind of it's hard to keep track of all of those things.
You should just
But
Taylor Swift it and put it in like, just be like, I haven't put out the bonus version
It's
yet.
an Easter egg.
And that's there's going to be the bonus version has the chapter that involves that. So just buy more copies of my thing, please.
I've just been like, no, don't worry. It was really boring. Don't worry about it. It was just super boring series. Nothing happened.
We don't talk about that series anymore. Not after what happened.
One of the best things to come out of the weird, but also really entertaining at times NHL follow tracker is that Mikhail Sergachev has followed you. Were you as surprised as we were, and have like any other NHL players? Is he the first NHL player to follow you?
First and only so far. I've got plenty of PWHL players, which is because that league's awesome. But yeah, I was really excited because Mikhail Sergachev is actually, if you're listening, Mikhail, I've followed him for a long time because he's one of my favorite players. I really love him. And I don't follow that many NHL players, but I follow him. And he's actually, and I don't know if this is going to be weird, but when I was writing Heated Rivalry, I needed to kind of watch videos of a lot of Russian players to get the like the accent and the dialect down. And so I was kind of watching videos of some players when they were rookies versus like a few years later to see how their English had kind of evolved. And yeah, Mikhail Sergachev was actually the one I watched the most and used the most to model Ilya's speech. So it's kind of surreal that he's the one who chose to follow me, but I'm really thrilled because I do love him a lot. So.
Isn't it cool to have a job where you could just watch Mikhail Sergachev all day, and that's what you're like? We have, I have 2 Mikhail Sergachev jerseys over there. We love him so much. So you are among your people. We were thrilled that Sergachev was the first one.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't messaged me or anything, but when he followed me, I was just kind of like waiting. I was like, was he gonna say something? I was like, was this a mistake? But yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't think any NHL players would follow me, honestly. So that's nice.
Speaking
I
of,
mean, there is also like a very fascinating element of that too, in that the first player to follow you is Russian, and like that's a big part of the story. And like, credit to you, I feel like your books and the show have done a really good job of telling the story about the NHL's relationship or hockey's relationship with Russia, and the pride element of it, and how it may not be black and white for a lot of these guys. So like, was that an important thing for you, like personally, to want to highlight? And was it difficult to kind of tell that story in a way that wasn't black and white and gave more layers to it?
Yeah, I just wanted to like, I wanted to show that there was a lot more at stake for Ilya. There's real danger there. And I didn't go too hard into it because I didn't want the book to get too heavy or political or anything. But I didn't want like real world, situations coming into it too much. because it is a romance novel. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of make sure that the reader and all the characters were aware that there is a real danger for Ilya to be out or anything close to out. Um, and yeah, I think I do definitely think about that a lot with Russian players in the league, that they might be dealing with stressful things that North Americans can't even conceive of because of just where they're from and what it's like there. So, I wanted to get a little bit into the book without getting too heavy or veering into stereotypes, which is another thing that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said it on the show before, but one of the Russian players who did not wear a Pride jersey and got crushed for being a bigot, this, that, and the other thing. And like, we're careful that if we don't know something to not accidentally say the wrong thing, but like even just with us pointing it out, we got a little pushback from people who are like, hey, like, you're kind of wrong there. Like that wasn't like he's not happy about it either, kind of thing. And you're like, fuck, it is tough in today's day and age, internet wise and everything, to like see someone do something that's wrong and it's wrong and we all know and we all agree it's wrong. But like to factor in the nuance of, yes, like it's not as easy for them. They're in a different situation than all of us are. And that's not to say that every person who has not worn the Pride jersey has done so in good faith. A lot of it's been fucking horrible. But that was one of my biggest surprises, Rachel. Sorry, lights went off. That was one of the biggest surprises for me, like how tastefully handled the Russian player as it relates to promoting and doing anything involving queer culture. Because like hockey, the NHL, a lot of hockey fans haven't really gotten that through their heads.
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people in Russia. I heard before the show it was about the books, and now a lot about the show. Just about, I mean, obviously you can't legally watch the show there or read my books, but people do, and I know that there's bootleg Russian translations of my books, and I'm happy that these stories are reaching people and that they're important to people. I think I've heard that Ilya has become an icon in queer Russia, which is really thrilling to hear.
I wanted to ask this, and I'm glad DJ said there are no stupid questions, so I can kind of free myself up here. Does like the word or like the genre smut offend you in a way? Because like I came into like the Heated Rivalry experience being like, my expectations aren't that high because of the word smut attached to it. But like now I feel like it's a disrespect to you and your work in the TV show if it's labeled as smut, because clearly like things get really deep here. And I feel like the characters are very fleshed out and it is just good work. So like, does that word feel like it kind of like cheapens your work at all?
I think it can if somebody uses it that way. I like the word a lot, and I use it to, I describe my own books as cute hockey smut. And I don't mind it. And I know Jacob, very gleefully referred to the books and the show as smut. And I think that's good. But I think it's more when people kind of dismiss the show as just being smut or just being, I think the worst things that I hear are things like, like housewife porn, like just really dismissive kind of misogynist things that I do not like. But no, the word smut's fine. I think as long as people understand that the show isn't just that, it's got a lot of emotion and heart and sweetness as well.
I can't believe it's taken so long for us to discuss this, but the final book of the Game Changers series, Unrivaled, was announced last weekend. We're very excited for it. The book, as I understand it, is not done, but enough of it is done for there to be a summary, and our mentions were a disaster as a result of the summary, because this book, Unrivaled, involves an evil hockey podcast. Quote, people in the hockey world are still reeling from, may contain spoilers, their relationship reveal, and the backlash led by popular hockey podcast Top Shelf and the hashtag Take Back Hockey movement is getting louder. We are not virtue signaling when we say we would go to war with that fucking podcast. That is, we'd be like, this horrible podcast existing actually might be good for business for us, because it's going to make people say, are there podcasts that aren't fucking assholes? And maybe we'll be like 16th on the list, and eventually people will maybe give us a shot. But tell us about the podcast element of this, because it does sound kind of realistic that there would be, if like, who's the bad guy, who's leading the charge, who's trying to organize a movement, fucking podcast.
I've never had more fun in my life than I have had writing this podcast. Like, they are awful and they are so real. They're every comment section on a post about hockey. They're every Reddit thread. It's the worst. It's the worst of fandom and commentary. And it's been really, really fun to write. But yeah, what if I called it like That Chaos or something? Like,
yeah, I was going to say thank you so much for making it. I mean, we don't know the names of these podcasters, but please, the failing New York Times is already calling us painfully straight and equally straight. We're getting shots left and right. Please don't make us this podcast.
No, I think I gave them real like morning radio names. So like, yeah, you don't have to worry.
Connor McKenna.
It's been really fun to write. And I do think it's kind of like I figured if this really happened, if these two superstars were outed and then, got married and then ended up on the same team together, I think there'd be some podcasters with something to say about it. And I think that the fandom would get really divided. There'd be the people that are extremely supportive, and then there'd be the other side that are, really, really against it, and think that hockey's ruined. So I just really wanted to play with that, and I feel like it's like there's parallels about like the popularity of this show too, like of Heated Rivalry. Like, you get that divide where it's like, this is ruining hockey versus this is the best thing. So it's kind of been fun to have that going on while I'm writing the book, because I think there's a lot of parallels.
It's funny that you say that, because I mean, I haven't seen a lot of like, this is ruining hockey in terms of Heated Rivalry, which I am so thrilled, because it seems like when you would think about this concept in your brain, I'd be like, oh God, the discourse is going to be horrific. But in reality, like, the show and the work and the source material has been so good that it has just captivated the entire world. So at least me personally, have missed out on a lot of the negativity that may be out there.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it. Like, the algorithm, I think this is the first time I've liked the algorithm, the like royal algorithm, because I'm not seeing anything of people complaining about the show. And also, we've seen the hockey audience that we know, and we know that like our hockey audience is not everybody's hockey audience, but we have seen people who didn't know about the show that listened to our show or watched our show get into Heated Rivalry. And then we've seen newcomers come to the show and say, hey, I'm here for the Heated Rivalry stuff. And the existing hockey fans are like, oh, cool, new friends. That's maybe been my biggest surprise, which is how cool the hockey audience, which I'm sure you know as a hockey fan, history of gatekeeping is mostly, like Pete said, could be wrong. Maybe we're just kind of living in a vacuum, but I've seen it be more welcoming, and that's not me making excuses for like hockey fandom. I just really do think this thing's moving in the right direction, even if we're not at the finish line.
Yeah, I do too. I fully expected this to be dismissed everywhere as like the gay hockey show. Like, I thought it would be a punchline. This is back when I thought it was only going to be in Canada too, and I was like, in Canada it's going to be just like there's going to be a line, and I think I assumed the hockey world would be firmly on one side making fun of this show, and I'm really, really happy that is not what happened. I haven't seen a ton of the negative side either, and when I do see it, they get dogpiled. So like, it's not a safe thing to say. I
mean, the fandom is powerful. They can tear down paywalls all over the internet. It is incredible stuff.
I've got a hive now. Like,
you do? As you should. It's funny that you said, I figured people would just call it the gay hockey show and write it off. Before we nailed what the name of it was, we were excitedly saying, when does the gay hockey show come out? So we were calling it the gay hockey show in a thank God there's the gay hockey show.
Yeah, I mean, I do it like sometimes if I'm talking to somebody that isn't familiar with the fact that I write books or anything, I'll be like, well, have you heard of Heated Rivalry? And then they'll be like, no, what's that? And then I'll be like, the gay hockey show that everyone's talking about. And they'll be like, oh, the gay hockey show. So definitely people do know it as that. But yeah, no, I think it's not dismissive, which is nice.
How much has your writing process for the new book been impacted by the success of the show? Whether it's like the writing itself, which I assume is you would want it to be unaffected, but like the process and the noise around the IP.
The next book is just all Ilya eating pasta.
Yeah. I feel so powerful because I'm not going to.
You could ruin so many people's lives.
But I can make those guys do anything.
If you make Scott Hunter racist, anything. I will lose my fucking shit on you, Rachel. Don't do that.
I could do anything. I could kill them.
No.
I keep threatening. I keep saying like, "Oh, we're gonna open with Ilya's funeral," and then
oh my god,
Shane's just gonna move on.
Leave me alone, or I'll kill them. That's so fucked.
Like, look, guys. But yeah, no, I think it's been hard to write lately because there's been a lot of distractions. But I'm trying really hard to give myself the kind of quality time that I need to sit with the characters and write them. I did write a lot of this book before the show came out, which thank God, but I wish I'd written more of it because I had no idea. I just thought like, it'll be a fun a few weeks while the show's on, and then after that I'll just get to go back to writing my little book, and that's not what happened, and it's just been crazy ever since. And yeah, and it's hard to, now I'm in that kind of a very rare space that most authors have not known of having I'm writing a series. I'm writing a book about two characters that the whole world really cares a lot about. And so I feel like it's too much responsibility to be the one who gets to decide what happens next to them, which is not... It's an experience I felt a little bit with The Long Game, but that was just book fans, and this is like a whole different ballpark. So it's definitely I feel the pressure, but it's nice to be able to write them again. I'm having fun writing them again. But yeah, I do try not to think about the show. I try to pretend there's no show and no fans, and I'm just writing a book for me, because otherwise I think it's too much.
I mean, as a reader, whenever I see a screen adaptation, it's always kind of a tough thing, seeing the disconnect on screen between what you pictured in your head and in your brain. As an author who like literally came up with all of this in your head, is there any struggle with like now writing and like seeing a different version of these characters versus what you had them as in your head?
Yeah, I try not to think about the actors too much because, yeah, I am trying to focus on the version of the characters that are in the book and not the show. I try not to, think about the way that there's like, subtle differences, I guess, in the way the characters might say things or do things on the show than in the book. So I'm trying to stay focused on the characters that I've been writing because I can't switch them up now as much as I'd love to switch some of them up. I love the version of Svetlana on the show. But I gotta stick to what I already laid out. And it's just, I can't think too much about the actors and the show because otherwise it does all get muddied. But it's hard because they did such an amazing job. They're great. So
I've been thinking so much about how you could do anything. And now it's really freaked me out because like we knew that we were talking to a god by bringing you on, but like this is a thing we care about so much, and we're literally talking to God as it relates to it.
Oh no.
You could even do like inconsequential things. You could have one of them do the Michigan, and then that shitty podcast just gets really mad about it.
Yep. And then they have to do it on the show. They have to figure out. Jacob has to figure out how to film that. That's the funnest part.
Make Connor's story have to do the Michigan. Or the Abby Murphy. Oh, no, yeah. Did you see the Abby Murphy play over the weekend?
Yes, that was a great, yeah. Oh, replicate that exactly. In a way that we can't use a double. It has to be you. I'm sorry. It's going to have a tight close-up of your face the whole time somehow.
The budget doesn't have room for CGI. You have to learn this.
No. I know. I keep thinking, like, what can I do? Like, what could I do that would make it so difficult for them? Like, yeah.
Are there any, like, Brad Marchand characters in the series? Because we've been really interested, and I know, like, friends of the podcast have talked about, like, we want to see when it gets to the point where players are out and what the room is like and everything. And we've cited, like, well, if there's like a Brad Marchand type, they're going to be like, if I hear anything from the other team I don't want to hear, they're not going to have legs anymore type of like thing. But also, like, is there a Brad Marchand type who's just like going around and fucking shit up for everybody?
I think Troy Barrett is the character I have that would be closest to that. He really, he's one of my favorite characters in the series, and he will be on season 2, I'm sure. But yeah, he's like I'd say a little bit of a pest, a little bit of a dick, but like I enjoy Brad Marchand. Like, he's just so committed to being a dick that I like have to respect it. I feel like one of my favorite moments in hockey was when Tristan Jarry was just flipping a puck on his goalie stick, and Brad, or no, he just was he going to give it to a fan? It was something like
he was giving it to a fan,
and Brad knocked it off the stage and caught it. It was like the smoothest thing I've ever seen and the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I keep the GIF on my phone so I can watch it whenever I want because I love it so much.
Rachel, anyway, that is legitimately one of my favorite hockey plays ever.
When I was watching it live, I just rewound it so many times. I was like, I can't believe that just happened. Like, it's the best thing I've ever seen. But yeah, so that, like, things like that, like things like, yeah, like Brad picking up like the other guy's helmet to leave the ice like a couple weeks ago, like when he was going to the penalty box and taking it with him. Like, that's funny. Like, that kind of humor I enjoy, and yeah, I kind of get that into my Troy character a little bit, and a little bit into Ilya too. He's annoying.
I believe it was us discussing Tristan Jarry in a Heated Rivalry clip that got you to interact with our show and comment. And every now and then, I mean, we're not the biggest show in the world, but every now and then we'll see like, oh, like Chelsea Peretti or like someone cool like liked your thing, and we're like, oh, sweet. And we saw like Rachel Reid commented on your video, and we were like, what? What's this? And it's just like, yeah, Jarry sucks or something.
Just like Jarry catching strays off of Shane. It's so funny to me. It's like, this stupid thing Shane did reminds me of Tristan Jarry.
I'm having a tough time with Tristan Jarry right now. I'm having a real tough time. I'm an Oilers fan, not having a good time with the Tristan Jarry trade so far.
I'm an Oilers fan, so I love him.
Yeah, right. That's the Tristan Jarry experience. You love him if he doesn't play for your team.
Yeah.
I have to ask, would be remiss if I didn't. Carly Rae Jepsen has a place in the Game Changers universe,
and
even before Jacob Tierney talked about it. What is Carly Rae Jepsen's place in that universe? Because she's so important to me, and I need her to be important to everybody.
Yeah, she's mentioned... well, the social media manager in Role Model, who's one of the main characters, Harris, in Role Model. You'll see him in season 2. Yeah, he's wearing a Carly Rae Jepsen t-shirt in one scene. I know that reference is there. Her song, I Really Like You, it was my theme for Troy and Harris's relationship. So I definitely listen to a lot of Carly Rae when I'm writing. I just love her. So yeah, definitely if she wanted to do a song for season 2, I would be so happy.
I mean,
same.
We don't know, but doesn't it seem like it's happening? Doesn't it seem like there's smoke there? That
I feel like
the follows are happening. She was in the lab. She posted a picture of herself in the lab, pregnant. People who aren't Mary Clayton don't just get in the booth and start making music pregnant unless it's an emergency. And this sounds like an emergency.
Yeah, I like the Mary Clayton reference. That was good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll talk Stones whenever you want.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I mean, every day I see something that doesn't make sense to me. Like yesterday was Oprah flipping out about the show. The Guggenheim posted about it because that makes sense. And then yeah, like just every day, Canada Dry Ginger Ale just started following me. I was like, well, nice of you to show up. Like,
there you go. Right.
Oh, whoa. Yeah.
You guys are way late to this party. Like
the Trump thing is crazy.
Sorry, which Trump thing?
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question as well.
Trump said he liked it.
Really?
No.
Oh,
unfortunately. I'm just trying to terrify you guys.
Sure, why not? Like,
anybody would like it if they watched it.
I mean, I did see edits of where he like gets up from the desk and goes and looks through the window of the doors, and it's
so that wasn't real.
It's one of the scenes.
Yeah, it was a sex scene. Okay, yeah, so that didn't really happen. Okay.
Yeah, it's for the best, I would say.
Yeah, like how would that
like Donatella Versace? That's crazy.
Yes.
I think the New Year's Eve thing with Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen was when I actually fully thought I'd lost my mind. Because just hearing Anderson Cooper say the words like, I'm a kip, I was like, I don't understand what the world is anymore. And I just texted Jacob, I was like, I feel insane. And he's like, I also feel insane. And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me that people know.
Yeah, like what is your experience? What's your experience like been like with like the standom or the fandom? Because you mentioned the word intense earlier, and I can only imagine what it is like from your end, because it's intense for us.
Yeah, it's been weird, and I have the author version of it, which is way more chill than say what Connor and Hudson are going through. But I think anything like I don't even think that other movie stars know what they're going through. Like this is bonkers. But now I get recognized a lot. Now I get a lot of I can't really, like, Instagram's just a mess for me now. I can't really use it functionally that well anymore. I've had to hire a publicist and other people to kind of do things for me, because being me is not like a one person job anymore. It's like there's a lot too much for me to do. And it's just been really wild from the inside. And I think, like I was saying, like on Sunday when the Golden Globes happened, I was in a hotel room trying to write, and I was watching the Golden Globes, and they were talking about Heated Rivalry. They were talking about, they were mentioning the characters, like Nikki Glaser was, and then like all over the red carpet. And then later Connor and Hudson came out on stage, and I was just like trying to write the Shane and Ilya book, and I was like, it is so weird to be watching this while trying to write a story about them, because writing is usually a pretty lonely thing to do, and just having all this constant love around these two characters that I'm actively trying to write right now has been really strange and good, I think, but definitely weird.
Are you excited for the Olympics?
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching the Olympics. I think, I don't know how I feel about NHL players going to the Olympics. Like, I still kind of like it when we put together a team of amateurs and they get to be superstars for a couple weeks, Like, I always kind of like that, and then they come home and they get to, like, do autograph sessions at, like, Canadian Tire or whatever. Like, they'd have a little bit of fame for a while, and then, now it's guys who, it's just another, I mean, I think it means a lot to these NHL players, but yeah, I kind of miss those days. But I'm excited. I feel like Canada's got a pretty good team. So
I was gonna say, friend, you are Canadian. Friend, you're Canadian, so you have McDavid, Crosby, and McKinnon on the same team. Nothing to complain about there.
And 3 Nova Scotians, which that delights me. That all the local boys are there.
Yes.
But I think sometimes you put all these guys together though, and they don't work. So you never know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, we're
on
American.
paper
We're
it
well
looks
aware.
Yeah, we
yeah, like,
It doesn't
and
always
I
work.
typically
mean,
when we
we've-
try to assemble the best of us, it doesn't work.
and we've seen it with Russia too. Like it's sometimes it's a mess. And I don't know. So I don't think it's a sure thing, but I feel like our chances are pretty good.
How you like your Habs this season?
Love them. I mean, this is the most fun I've had as a Habs fan ever. Like I've been watching them since the 80s, and my dad hates the Habs so much. He's a Boston fan and just hates them, but I never lived in their dynasty era. Like I don't know those Habs. So when he talks about them, he's still stuck in like decades ago hating them. And I'm like, well, they've never been good for as long as I've been alive, basically. Like there's been a couple times where they've been good, but generally they're not great. And I've been enjoying the last couple of seasons, watching them get better and being excited for the future. And I feel like we've finally gotten there. And I'm really excited about the rest of this season, but I'm really excited for next season. Yeah, I think they're going to be really good. And they're such a fun team. Like, it's just the vibes are so good. Like, there's not a single guy on the team that I don't like, and that's very rare.
It's even more rare for me as a Bruins fan, and I
Brendan
completely
Gallagher's
agree.
still on the team.
I know, but
he's in year
But
410.
I respect that he rode out the bad years.
I think that's
he
so cool too.
deserves-
Yes,
he deserves his flowers. What's your dad's reaction to you writing a hockey romance novel with a Boston and a Montreal player?
Well, I think a little bit, I was thinking about our own little family rivalry when I started writing it. I think it was always fun watching whenever they met in the playoffs. They don't do that as much these days, but yeah, we'd watch those together. And he's pretty humorless about the Habs, but I have a great
Sounds
sense
like a
of humor
Boston
about the
fan.
Bruins. Yeah, I love making fun of the Bruins. I don't know. But yeah, he hates Brendan Gallagher, and I was like, well, he's not that much different than Marchand, but the dad's like, he's not even close to being as good, which I mean is
He's
true,
right.
but like the vibes are similar. But yeah, dad I think he's proud of the writing thing. He'll never be proud of my Habs love at all.
Are there any teams other than Boston that you hate or have any other sort of like weird relationship with? Like for some reason we talk about certain teams, even if none of us are fans of them, we just always kind of have to look at the Sharks and be like, look at this shit. This is insane. Are there any teams for you like that?
Yeah, I actually don't even hate Boston. Like I don't have a huge problem with them. The teams that I don't like, and it shifts. I think it really has to do with who's on the team at the time. I mean, generally don't like the Leafs because I'm a Habs fan. But I get a lot of joy out of the Leafs just failing. It's just funny to me. I hope they never win the cup ever because it'll really ruin a big part of Canadian culture. It's just so
Speaking
it's
right
so
to
much
my heart
fun.
right now.
It's
I
so
love
much
it.
fun the way that they keep losing. And I kind of feel the same way about Edmonton. Sorry, I don't know. They're just a team. I've always been a Calgary fan of the West. That they've always been my Western team. So, they're not super right now, but like that's my West team. So I don't like Edmonton. And the teams that I hate for no particular that don't have anything to do with being a Habs fan are, well, Winnipeg I really don't like. Sorry Winnipeg. I just hate that team right now. And it might just be because they tend to be good and it makes me mad, but yeah, I don't like Winnipeg. I don't like Ottawa, which is ironic. And I don't like yeah, I don't know. I don't have like super strong feelings about most of the other teams. Like, yeah, I don't know. Usually it's because some player on some team did something wrong to one of the Habs once, and I've held a grudge ever since. New York Rangers.
That's good.
The
fandom.
Islanders bum me out. I don't know. I mean, I love that just as the vibe of that team bums me out. Although they got rid of Lou, so they're better now. So
Yeah, that can help the vibe. It's so amazing that we're like, hockey's having this incredible moment because of Heated Rivalry. There's so much more positivity in the sport right now. Let's bring in the person who made all this supercut of I don't like the Maple Leafs. I don't like the Winnipeg Jets. This team's bad. This team's bad. All is right in the world. Rachel has corrected the record. Hockey is miserable again.
I'm going to kill Ilya.
Ilya's going to Winnipeg, and he's going to... I don't know.
Ilya rocks, especially once he hits the Abby Murphy, followed by the Michigan. It's going to be crazy.
He's going to do both at once somehow.
Yeah. There's no penalties called on any of that.
Okay. Yeah, Abby to Shane behind the net for Shane to put it in the net, Michigan style.
Oh, hell yeah.
They also celebrate like assholes because they're just like so happy and in love. Yeah. And they're just like they're malking people behind the net.
It's like the stick is the gun and then into each other's mouths.
That would be incredible. Yeah, that's how you have to, that's the only way that you can control the mania that exists right now is you need to make the players unlikable. You need to just make them assholes who piss everybody off. And then like the show's still probably going to go like 33 seasons because it's too good. But eventually people will be like, all right, the characters became problematic enough. I think we can hang this up.
I'm pretty confident we've got Connor and Hudson for 33 seasons. So I don't think they'll have anything else to do.
Easy.
Sign me up.
They are right where they are going to be for their entire
one wants
career.
Them to be in anything, yeah.
Locked in.
They're getting 0 offers.
You know those entry-level contracts that are 50 years long, and it's just what it's going to be.
Lock them down. Jacob,
and it's beautiful. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on with us. This has been such a fun conversation. We knew that when you said that you would come on, we were like, there's going to be a lot of hockey in this, which is cool because we dick around with all of our guests. And obviously we could have just talked about books and that would be perfect, but we knew this was going to touch a lot of different areas and it's met every expectation and it's exceeded them.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. It's nice to talk about hockey.
Hey, anytime you want to come back on and talk hockey, we are here. You know where to find us. And in the meantime, please don't kill Ilya.
Okay, I won't.
Or Kipstad. Bye.
Oh yeah, no, never.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.